Oh, hey, mamas. Are you looking for a podcast? Listen to us. Just give us a second, okay? Because we both were not podcast people until we became a mom. And then I realized podcasts are awesome because when I'm driving or if I'm taking a shower or even if I just need like a mental break for like 20, 30 minutes as I'm like cleaning or doing whatever, like I'll pop in my AirPods and like Swiffer the floors. I realized that like during those breaks being a mom, like I want to learn things or I just want like random mom talk and just gossip. So Cammie and I, we created a podcast. We go through just mom life, gossip, little fun. But we have so many experts in so many different spaces, primarily health and beauty. And it's just given us life. Like I feel so much smarter as I go about my day. Like I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I just feel a lot more confident when I make decisions.
Because who has the time as a working mom?
I know.
Just a mom in general. You don't have time to do all the research. So we're doing it for you.
Yeah. It really is near and dear to our hearts because for me, I used to be a singer. So I love entertainment and I want to make sure that I have something creative in that outlet outside of like working a mom. And then for you, you're super into science. Yes. Yeah. You bring a whole level of you just find the best guests.
I've just been like doing all the research. That's what I do all the time. Yeah. So like, why not give it to you guys?
No, seriously. Like I am now so smart. Like I can literally be in conversations with other moms and like have something interesting to talk about all of the time because of the podcast. So like if you even just want to make new mom friends and like have something interesting to talk about really relevant things that are happening, like take a listen to the podcast. Let us know what you think. Like, rate, subscribe it. If you want to hear us talk about something, like you can just let us know and send that inquiry over to us and we'll get it set up because we want to make sure that moms have a place where they feel confident, calm, and you just feel good about this chaotic, messy mom life. Anyways, so I think we briefly talked about the photo shoot, but the one thing that we didn't talk about is the photographer had us like do this pose where you like are basically like leaning forward and then I'm like opposite leaning on your back and kicking my legs up.
Yeah, in the air.
And then when I came back down, which this was after like a few attempts because we're old. But when I came back down, it was like dum, 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 dum.
I thought I literally broke your spine. Like I was very scared. I thought you were going to be like a pile of mush on the floor.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay, this is one of those moments where they're like, it's all fun and games until someone
dies.
But I had sensed like a instant release in my back. And for those that care, after I gave birth, like my pelvis, my hips, like everything was very misaligned. To the point where like if I laid back specifically even worse on something that was completely flat, I actually couldn't get back up. Like I would have to like somehow get help to roll to my side to get back up. When I walked, it was extremely painful. I was like always like a little like awkward because one hip was so much higher than the other. And my quality of life was actually like tough. I was having to go to the chiropractor like every week, every other week. And typically before I would only go maybe like once a month, once every other month. But it was so bad that like I couldn't make it 7 days without scheduling another appointment. And I felt a sense of release. And then I went to the chiropractor and I told her about what happened and her face looked terrified. And she's like, okay, why don't you get on the bed and let's see what she did to you? And then I started to get concerned, like, oh my gosh, like, what if it's worse, even though it feels better? And she was like stunned. She was like, what did she do to you? And I like tried to explain it again. She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but like literally your whole pelvis, your hips,
your sacrum, probably.
My sacrum, yep. All of it got popped back into place where she didn't even have to try to adjust that area. Like everything was even again.
I like couldn't believe it. Like when you said that I number one, I didn't know you were in so much pain. Number two, when you were like, I feel great. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I felt it in my body, like the snap. The photographer on the other side of the room was like, what the hell? Like like we were so concerned. And for you to be like, that was the last thing I thought you would ever say. And then you go to the chiropractor, she's like, you're healed. And I'm like, you know what, Celia? What if that's why we have this podcast was to heal you?
We're literally like running ourselves ragged. We're aging 2 times faster because of this podcast, because we also are people that like are competitive and we're not going to like quit until we win.
Yeah.
And here we are running ragged. But like, I did think about it. I was like, what if the stars aligned to spend, $500-$600 on this photo shoot to get my back popped? And I started to do the math. I was like, quite frankly, this is cheaper than going to the chiropractor.
That is true. Like my dad told me it was some like ancient, I don't know if this is some Marioism that he made up, but he said that it is like an ancient stretching technique. Okay. And he was like, oh yeah, show me what you did. And so I showed him. He was like, yeah, me and my brother used to do that and in Tai Chi or some shit. And he's like, yeah, I really like, it really can. He said you have to get it right. They have to be like the same height. And you had heels on. And I think we were like exactly the same height. He's like, yeah. You literally were like perfectly in line, that you like popped her in, like with my ass bone. I like popped you in. It's crazy.
It was something I've never experienced before, but like I was in a lot of pain. I didn't really talk about it too much. Like James would see it. Like also too, like the only other people that know about it are Paris Nails, because they do my eyebrows and they actually have to help me up.
Wow.
Out of when I lay down to get my eyebrows done.
Yeah.
They probably think I'm weird, but they actually like help me up because they know I can't get up.
Wow.
It's embarrassing.
If nothing else, I'm so thankful for this pod, because now you are like a normal person.
I mean, honestly, quite frankly, I felt like an old lady.
I mean, and also we got a really cute picture from it. So
yeah, we did. It's definitely going on the website.
Yeah.
So what's been new with you?
So Kalina is doing gymnastics, and we put her in one that's like close by to where we live.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a rough go. Okay. The teacher is not very nurturing. These are like 3 to 4 year olds.
Mm-hmm.
She's very militant. She tries to be friendly, but she's younger. She's not like an old lady. Like she's probably in her 40s. And she tries to be like she talked to me and stuff and be cool, but like she expects the kids to like stay in a station. They're 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Some are like 4, almost 5, so they'll do it. But she's like shows them one time, and then she expects them to hang from a bar and do ab crunches. I mean, what 3-year-old's going to do that? And then also the time is like at 2:30. And you know how Kalina doesn't like to nap. So it's like she is tired, and she was doing things that were very uncharacteristic of her. She would like running around. She's like being like the problematic child, like running around the class, not listening. She kind of got like kicked out of the class. So the teacher's like, well, I think maybe you guys should try my other class. It's from 18 months to 3. So to humor the bitch, I go to this other class. Okay. These kids are like babies. They're 18 months. They can't do shit. She sets up a circuit. Kalina is obviously like the star because she's like 3 years old. So she's the only one who can do everything. And the kids are just like in the way. And she's like, and it wasn't anything enriching. Mm-mm. Like I was like, why am I here? You know? And so then she's like, so she says to me, well, yes, I do believe that Kalina is in between both classes, but she had a lot more fun in this class, and nobody likes to get put in timeout or told to go to their station, more often. So maybe this would be better for her. I'm like, no, this is not challenging enough for her. This is a waste of my time and my money. And so then the final straw was when Jay took her to class, and she said, so, your wife brought her. I'm like, do you not think I talked to my husband? Do you not think that do you think we're divorced? Like what? I was like, no, bitch, I'm done. And so I pulled her out. I was like, that's the final straw. I pulled her out, found a new gymnastics place. And I was like, let's see what this is about. Complete 180. The lady is age appropriate, so nurturing. She's like, oh, hi, sweetheart. Hi, baby. What do you want to do? Like she assists them. They have an assistant. There's 3 little girls. To her and an assistant. They get to do what they want, have fun. And I asked my daughter, I said, what do you like? She's like, I like this school better. And so all of this to say, trust your gut, pull the fucking plug, just be done with it. Like, your kid, what they're capable of.
Good for you.
Don't let somebody tell you what needs to be done with your kid because
That's unfortunate that happens, but like I feel like it would be hard. It's almost like you start second guessing yourself or your child.
Yes.
And it's like, no, they're only 3 years old. I'm really proud of you for doing that.
Thanks.
Because if someone was like treating Lakin that way, I would just be like, no, I'm not paying you for me or my child to feel uncomfortable.
No. So yeah, I just thought that was a really cool lesson.
Yeah. Also too, like if you are teaching that many children at that age, you should have an assistant.
Yes.
Because you can't coach and keep all of these kids wrangled.
In line. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So no, read in between the lines, feel the vibes, trust your gut. Always trust your gut.
We did that with swimming. We went Lakin started swimming around 6 months. We went to the classes there and it was, nice, whatever. But I asked the swim teacher, like, are you guys CPR certified? Mm-hmm. And they said no.
Wow.
And I guess like originally I would just assume if you were teaching a swim class to children or babies, like you would be certified. And I'm happy I asked that. And then I was like, well, other kids are in the class. And I started to second guess myself. And then I was like,
yeah.
So then I started calling around and we have Goldfish Swim in Michigan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have one here.
Every single teacher, they have lifeguards on duty. Like this place didn't have lifeguards either.
Wow.
Like everyone's certified. And it's the same thing. I felt the same thing as you. Like, okay, no, I'm not crazy for feeling uncomfortable. Yeah. Like there's other places that what's interesting is you pay the same and they're set up completely different. And it's mind boggling to me how some of these businesses are continuing.
I think this is just the beginning, for us in our parenthood journey of advocating for our child, as they go to school and all that. It's just going to get harder.
Yeah. We were in West Virginia at my sister's house. And have you gotten into uncomfortable position when it comes to how other people parent?
A little bit.
So I'll give you an example. So we were in line. It's a place in Pennsylvania called Idlewild. And quite frankly, if you're ever in Pennsylvania, it's kind of in the boons.
Okay.
But it's a whole amusement park for kids.
Oh, cool.
Like literally everything's for kids. And it used to be, so Mr. Rogers lived close by.
Really?
And so, so they have, I'll get into it in a second, but they have this little trolley, that you can ride as a family and it takes you through the forest with all the neighbors. And it used to be the Mr. Rogers trolley. But yeah, it was like the most wholesome place I've ever been to. Well, because there's a lot of kids, and I'm talking like Lakin's age, like not, 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
This is for little kids. And then obviously there's probably older siblings, but like all of the kids are in somewhat of a line. And there was like 3 kids in front of us and probably a couple kids behind us. Mm-hmm. And there was a little bit of an older girl. She had to been like 5, 6, 7 years old compared to like the 2s.
Right.
And she just cut right in front of us. Ooh. And her parents were right there.
Yes.
And they didn't say anything.
Yes, girl.
I tapped on her shoulder and I said, you need to go to the back of the line, honey. You have to wait in line. And her mom gave me the evil eye. And I was like,
oh no, really? Yeah.
No. Like maybe I was in an alternate universe, but it made me kind of like scared of the future when it's like kids aren't entitled to do whatever they want.
But these parents are not parenting, honey.
Like I've noticed a lot of and then they kind of helped her after I like looked at them too. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no. Yeah. You can wait.
Did she say anything or she just looked at you?
She just looked at me and then her daughter ran to her and then I think they went to the back of the line or they went to another ride. But like if that were Lakin, I'd be like, no. You got to go to the back of the line. And I'd be like helping them, going to the back of the line. But I just realized that it's like sometimes mass chaos when it comes to like how different people parent. And I realize I'm going to have a really hard time being likable in that situation because I will confront another parent if their child is being unconductly. Like there has to be some conduct.
There's not though. And it's getting worse. I remember when we first started to take Kalina to playgrounds, JJ and I looked at each other. We're like, what is going on? Like these kids would like bulldoze over our child. And she was, probably around Lakin's age. She was younger. These are like big kids, like 5-6 year old. They would zip past her while she's trying to like, make her way up the rope, the little like netting. And obviously she's a lot slower. They would have no patience or they would cut her. And then JJ and I were like, no, like parents would be right there and watch their kid bulldoze over a 2-year-old. I'm like, so what? We're not teaching kids patience. We're not teaching people, to wait their turn. And so I would, Jay and I would be like, excuse me, she's younger than you. You need to wait. And then they just look at you. And then, sometimes the parents would jump in and then like fake be like, yeah, you need to wait your turn, honey. Most of them like won't say anything to you. Like it's wild out there. It's the Wild Wild West. And so Kalina's taught these things and so is Lakin, right? Mm-hmm. So I've noticed that she doesn't really know what to do when people don't follow the rules, Yeah. So I've taught her, I'm teaching her in the process and I've seen her like kind of speak up a little bit. She'll be like, no, it's not your turn. You need to wait your turn, that kind of thing. And so I think we just really have to like instill in them to stand up for themselves. And, so yeah, it's wild out there for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Another thing kind of segueing into something that we wanted to talk about is like differentiating opinions. So online is like the Wild West. I mean, it is scary.
It's scary out there.
I mean, I had an opinion on a reality TV show, The Bachelorette, the ending. And all I said was, obviously, like they didn't work. Most of them don't. And all I said was, like they're probably long distance. I probably would have broke up too. And I don't think a phone call to break up in a long distance situation is like bad. But I it's just insane to me. I understand women power, but also, too, you can think about something differently and not be
attack someone.
Attacked. Mm-hmm. I am noticing that, like, if you don't go along with the group, you're kind of like outed. It's so bizarre to me.
It is weird. I mean, are we not like, do we not have group projects anymore?
I don't know.
At school, like, what do we do with different opinions? I mean, it's very, I mean, they called you anti-feminist. They called you not a girl's girl. They said some Gen Z shit that I don't even know what it means.
I mean, some of them I had to delete because it was really inappropriate.
Were they? Yeah. Didn't they call you like racist stuff? Or they called you a racist? Yeah. Like, wild.
Because because I was like, what does a 20-some-year-old breakup have to do with any of those things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I do not agree on what the topic is.
No.
We do not. I do not think that you're a terrible person. I don't think that you are a racist. I mean, that's just, these allegations are just insane. And it used to not be like this. Like,
no,
people would have different opinions.
People have opinions, and that kind of makes me worried too.
But if you look
about
at politics
kids nowadays, because like we didn't grow up with social media. So now all of these kids are growing up with social media. I'm not going to let Lakin have social media.
No, I'm not either.
Because even just seeing that, I was like, wow. And I didn't say anything bad. In my opinion, I just said like, good thing. I would rather someone break up with me than get married, have a family, and then leave me.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting where people are at. But I was like, man, I hope when the kids can have different opinions and not feel bullied.
But look at like our politicians, right? I mean, it's sprinkled into every aspect of our culture. It's not even just social media. It's politicians. What do? They like call each other, like, he called her like a cat lady.
Oh yeah.
She calls him a felon. I'm like, what are we even talking about? Are we talking about policies? And it's on both sides. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're independent. They do not talk about policies. All they do is verbally bash each other and say, oh, you're such a moron for thinking this and X and Y and Z. And then so it perpetuates.
It's very
everything.
Like, it's very weird. And like, I'm not going to get into the politics in my opinion on that because Lord knows I'll get Lord only knows what people
I'm just
would
saying,
say.
like, as a general thing. Yeah.
It's like attack.
It's attack. Exactly. Everything, you know, like everything, gentle parenting. Oh, you want to, you know, even in mom culture, it's attack. Oh, you want to sleep with your kid? You're the worst parent. Are you trying to kill them? Are you, you know, it's not, no one wants to hear anyone out. No one's like, okay, you do you, boo. That's on you. Are you the parent? If you kill your kid, that's on, you know, that's their life, their parenthood. You don't come home with me every day. Why do you care so much? Like, that's why everyone is so stressed. That is why everyone is so angry. That's why cancer is perpetuating. That's, you know, it's just nasty. Everyone's
just inflamed because this entire world has turned atrocious in some aspects.
I mean, we can even teach our kids to wait in freaking line or be courteous of each other.
It was like, really bizarre.
It was like
and it wasn't one of those things where like the parent wasn't paying attention. Like I was watching the parent the whole time, and I waited for a few minutes.
And that parent is not the only one there. It's a very common parent that you will encounter.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So
yeah, I mean, I just remember being little and like I would you know, go to the neighbor's house, and like if a parent reprimanded in any way, it was like like now kids don't care who you are.
No.
They're feisty little ones.
Yep.
I do think it's on the parents, though, to make the change.
No, 100%. Kids,
yeah, because kids don't
learn.
know.
No, they don't know.
That little girl did nothing wrong in the sense of like she doesn't know.
Right.
You know, like she wouldn't have done it if she knew. So I'm not going to get mad at her.
Or the parents are not going to teach you the right thing to do. They're going to say, you're crazy, you're mean. You're a kid, you know, you're doing what kids do. They don't put responsibility, they don't put, you know, consequences on actions, which is a problem because no one has any accountability.
Yeah.
Like, and I saw it today. My daughter, we took her to like ballet tryouts. And so this girl was acting a fool. She clearly needed a nap. She was running around, like not doing what she was supposed to be doing. And so I saw the mom. She was like the typical ass kissing mom. Like she went up to the teacher. I heard her. She was like, oh, well, oh, you're so-and-so's mother. Oh, my daughter's in your daughter's class. She loves it. Oh my God. It's like her favorite class. Your daughter is such a brilliant teacher. I'm like, all right, come on, lady, like cut the shit. She's like, yeah, you know, I know my daughter. She wasn't acting right, but honestly, like this is not her normal class time. And she, you know, she's not usually like this. I don't know what the behavioral thing. And I'm just like, you know, own up to it. Like if your kid needs a fucking nap, then your kid needs a nap. Maybe this time slot is not for your kid. You know what I mean? Like with Kalina in gymnastics, I didn't go up to the teacher and was like, oh my God, you know, Kalina's not usually like this. And because she doesn't care. She formed her own opinion of my child already. You know what I mean? Like you deal with your shit. You talk to your kid. Like people, that's my whole point is that nobody holds accountability to their child, you know? They want to fix things. Wait,
there are some.
Okay.
Disclaimers.
Yes. I mean, like for these examples.
For those examples, for that type of parenting. Yeah.
Nobody, you know, and if you don't hold them accountable for things, they're not going to learn.
Yeah. You know, if Lakin's in a situation where he needs a nap, I'll just pull him out.
Right.
You know, or if it's like we're going to something like his swim class is at 7 p.m. and there's some days where he's just really tired.
Not going to make it.
I don't take him to swim.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing is like, what did Tara from Modern Mom Problems say? If you're going to do something, make it a small amount of period of time where it's going to be good.
Great. Yeah.
You know, so it's like if you're going to gymnastics.
Yep.
And say that's the only class you can get into and it's at the worst time, maybe
it's not worth it.
Have a good 20 minutes of the class and then pull them out. You know, these are just kids and there's a lot more for kids to do than when we were little.
Yeah.
You know, like I wasn't going to all of these different sports classes. No. I don't even think they even had them until you were in like elementary school.
Absolutely.
You know, it was very much like go to the playground and then that was it. And now it's like kids like, and Lakin included, he's in swim, he's in soccer, he's in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's not 10 years old.
Right.
You know, so if he's just not with it, I just, as the parent, I make the decision. He's not acting normal, so we're going to go.
Yeah.
And he did nothing wrong. He's just a little baby. He's only 2 years old.
Love it.
Maybe that's like the motto of the episode is like take control. Like you don't.
Yeah.
I get it. Like because you pay a lot of money to do these things and you want to really take advantage of the time.
Yeah.
But like if 15 minutes is good, 15 minutes is good.
Yep. As opposed to crashing and burning. Like, you know? So anyways, I think that's...
Yeah.
I mean, this is not where we wanted to go, but it ended up beautifully.
I love it. You know, we can do potty training next week. I feel like potty training needed to be its own episode anyways.
It does.
I am excited for Thursday, though. We have Dr. Noah.
Huge guest. Huge. Amazing. Love him. He's going to talk about all of the things that you can do to keep your kids healthy. We're going to go like literally illness by illness, stomach bug, colds. What can you give your kids at home that's antimicrobial and you can buy off Amazon that's safe, reliable? You cannot miss this episode. It's great.
It's great too. I mean, we're breaking this into 3 bite-sized episodes just because there's so much content.
Yeah.
But not only, you know, like getting into fall, get into the illnesses, but what you can do pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, post-pregnancy. And he even breaks into like what his wife would take, knowing that it would, you know, get to the baby in a healthier way. Because obviously like babies can't, you know, take supplements or etc. So he really dives into the nutrition piece, which I walked out of the episode that day and I was like, man, like if I could have only had this episode when I was in those phases of my life, like how helpful that would have been.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah. So if you know anybody trying to get pregnant, thinking about getting pregnant or thinking about kid number 2, really important episode because as we get into a little bit in the episode, you know, no one talks to you about that. Doctors don't talk to you about that. Nobody counsels you on what you should be doing to get yourself ready for this. So huge episode.
And he also gets into like the Bible in biblical times and how some of the biblical messaging applies to life today. And he has like that crossover connection, which I think is like incredible.
Fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be the next 3 weeks with Dr. Noah is going to be like so awesome. We're so excited. And we're going to be talking about potty training. We're going to be talking about all sorts of mom things. So have a great week and we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.